As I begin, I want to thank Roger Brubaker, Commissioner Scott Martin, Supervisor Amber Green, Congressman Joe Pitts, and Representative Ryan Allman for their kind words and supportive endorsement here this morning. It means so much to have these people of this caliber, people who are proven leaders themselves, people who are people of integrity, who have stood the test of public service and are now here endorsing me. It means so much. So thank you, each of you, for coming out this morning. We're here today on this beautiful and historic grounds of one of East Hempfield's most well-known leaders, Amos Herr. Amos Herr, an educator and community leader, and his bride Ethel bequeathed their home, the barn, and land to the township of East Hempfield. Prior to that point, 3 generations of Herrs farmed the 92-acre property that you see here that started as part of a land grant from William Penn. It's at this historic landmark, the home of an educator and public servant, and the home of a municipal government, which forms the backdrop for who I am and what I believe, and where I have chosen to formally kick off my campaign for the 41st Legislative District. My campaign for state representative has been in full gear for months, but it's time to truly kick off the positive message and plans that will set the stage for victory in November. Leading up to today, I have been devoting much of my time to going directly to the voters by knocking on doors and making my case face-to-face with each one. To date, I have knocked on over 5,000 doors. It takes a lot of time. And I will say I am not done yet. My goal is 10,000. And by God's grace, and as long as my shoes hold out, I'm going to keep going to try to get to 10,000. And you know, leading up to this, from my past 3 elections as a township supervisor, I have always gone door to door. You know why? Because that's where the people are. That's where the people are. And I have enjoyed so much going door to door to talk to the people, to interact with them face to face, to hear their ideas, to bounce ideas back and forth, to learn from them and to explain things about what's going on. It has been a joy. And so I'm aiming for 10,000 between now and November 4th. While this takes a lot of time, I want to say again that I love doing it. I really do. You might not think so, but I do. I love meeting the people and hearing their ideas and discussing with them solutions to the problems that our community is facing. And we have some problems, don't we? We're all aware of those, not only in our community, but throughout our state as well. But I've met some truly wonderful people who are so invested in our community and are deeply devoted to a brighter future. Through talking with so many people, it has become very clear that the qualities that the people want in the person representing them boil down to a few common themes. They're looking for someone with a proven track record and courage to not just go along with the status quo. They're looking for someone who can empathize with their needs, and they're looking for someone they can trust. I believe I've developed a strong record of experience that proves I can meet those 3 requirements. I'm now in my 9th year as an East Hempfield Township Supervisor, having won election 3 times. I've been elected by my peers as chairman of the board for the past 4 years, and I take that as a high honor. I truly do. And on the county level, as was mentioned previously, I'm now vice president of the Lancaster County Association of Township Supervisors. And on the state level, I have been privileged to be appointed by the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors to 2 statewide committees that address the legislative and logistical concerns of municipalities and to advocate for legislation that fixes these problems. Here's the bottom line. My 9 years of governmental leadership show that I'm invested in our community. I've stepped forward to take upfront leadership roles in our community, and I've come before the voters here in East Hempfield, Lancaster County's 2nd largest municipality, now 3 times, with a platform built on fiscal prudence and management that makes sense for the taxpayer, and a fair and honest representation. I've learned many lessons on this level, and I'm working hard to earn the trust and support of all the voters throughout the 41st District, so that they'll send me to represent them in Harrisburg and to be their voice. One of the state representative's main tasks is to help craft and to vote on a budget that guides how our tax dollars are spent. My philosophy on money is very simple. I believe that we are to work hard for what we get and to live within our means and to try to avoid debt as much as possible. We all know what happens when you spend more than you make, right? It's not a pretty picture. And that's true in our homes, it's true in our municipal government, it's true in our state. This is how my wife and I try to operate our finances and why we avoid debt and live within our means. And I respect this approach, and that's why as a township supervisor, this is what the method that we try to employ with our tax dollars. As chairman of the board, I lead the team in managing a $14 million annual budget. And I'm incredibly proud of the record of fiscal management that has kept our township out of the red and placed us firmly in the black, all without cutting services and without raising taxes. And I tell you what, I believe that it's that type of fiscal management that we need at the Capitol, because we know the problems what we're facing. And I will say this, the task will not be easy, but it must be done. I believe that the taxpayers are looking for someone who's vigilant about finding ways to cut waste, control costs, and protect the taxpayers. Not a big spender who treats them like an ATM machine. Big government always demands more and more tax dollars for more and more spending. And I'm the only candidate in this race with a record that proves there can be solutions that keep services intact without the never-ending return to the taxpayer for more and more. I'd like to put my nearly decade's worth of enacting fiscally responsible budgets to work for our community in Harrisburg. And with your help, that's what I want to do. Let me briefly touch on 3 other topics that come up again and again in my conversations with the voters. Number 1, it was mentioned previously, economic growth and job creation. Roger and Amber and small business owners all over our district see the truth every day that more opportunity can flourish when government gets out of the way. Reducing burdensome regulations and cutting taxes helps businesses to flourish and create jobs. Family-sustaining job availability is the key for the health of our communities. We must never forget that we cannot tax our way into prosperity. Let me say that again, we cannot tax our way into prosperity. Rather, we must understand that it is the private sector, the mom and pop businesses, that are the engine of our economy. And as these businesses go, so goes our economy. I'm committed to work with our delegation to grow our local economy and keep our government out of the way. Number 2, dealing with the property tax issue and the public pension problem. Pennsylvania is facing a huge and looming financial crisis, the public pension liability. Our school districts and local governments are staggering under the weight of skyrocketing pension costs, and state dollars are being diverted from funding crucial needs like education and public protection to feed the $47 billion obligation. And perhaps most importantly, it's a huge cost driver that in turn is causing huge hikes on property taxes. We've recently got our tax bills not too long ago. You know what I'm talking about. For too long, elected leaders have kicked this can down the road. But I want to be a voice of reason and action on the pension issue and work on a solution that offers both a short-term and long-term relief from this crushing burden and ultimately helps to get property taxes under control. And finally, education. In just a few days, I'll start my 26th year as a guidance counselor serving in Lancaster County's public schools. And often I say to the people, I think that explains some about my hairline. However, I do enjoy working with the middle school students. It is a blast. They are a lot of fun. The essence of my job, however, as a guidance counselor is essentially that of a problem solver. And as a counselor, day in and day out, I see firsthand the pressures faced by our teachers and our schools. My specific experience makes me well qualified and determined to be a strong advocate for parents, teachers, and school funding that will help the children and help the taxpayer. Parents just want to know that their kids are getting an excellent education that will equip them to be competitive in the new global economy. Teachers want to excel at their profession and not be tied up by regulations that focus more on bureaucracy than outcomes. and taxpayers just want to know that their tax dollars are being used wisely. I want to fight for all those things, and my 25 years in education gives me firsthand experience on how to do exactly that. Working to achieve results on any of these issues in Harrisburg will not be easy. In fact, the task at hand will be extremely difficult. But the importance of and the urgent need to find solutions in order to help the people of the 41st and all Pennsylvanians is absolutely imperative. The time for action is now. When considering my choice to run, a quote from Ronald Reagan comes to mind. I'm not a politician by profession. I'm a citizen who decided I had to be personally involved. The needs of the hour have compelled me to become personally involved. The needs of this hour are very real because the needs of the people are very real. I have no desire to be a politician. I really don't. Instead, it's my desire to be a true representative for the people of the 41st District. As I kick off my campaign today, it's my desire to use the conservative principles that we share and my 9 years of municipal government experience and my professional experience as a problem solver to find the solutions that will work. I will certainly have big shoes to fill in walking the path of Katie True and Representative Brian Almond. The example that they have set has been truly amazing. But I commit myself to running this race to win, and with your help, I will do just that. Thank you so much for all you have done thus far, and all you will do in the days to come. So now it is time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. And together, we will celebrate the victory in November. Thank you all for coming out this morning. Thank you for your support. It means so much to me. Thank you so much, and God bless you.